Hey John, Mark here from MKMZ Design, and I believe I've come up with a working solution that will get you client ready. Although I had to go above and beyond the 4 hours, you should be pleased to hear that I'm not going to charge you for it. I was kind of in a tough situation, and I'll explain the challenges that I encountered and how I overcame them. First of all, this particular plugin, it's novel, and I can see that it would have a decent range of application in certain instances. However, for what you want to accomplish with a client, you really do need a content management system. So rest assured, I built you just that. I've included a link in a subsequent addendum document that you'll be able to make sense of and see what I've done. But I'm just going to provide you with a brief overview of everything to kind of get going. So right now, this particular plugin, definitely novel, has some interesting features, but in terms of its embedding capability, it's not very helpful. The API is equally as confusing. So what I decided to do was try to create a workaround. I created a very simple media gallery image that is loaded within the folio. Then what I did was I went over to my server and I decided to go a little bit above and beyond, and I decided to take a template that I had already created with another programmer that I work with. We had uploaded it to Theme Forest, and I've extended the range of use to that to you at no additional charge, and I've also cloaked it so that you can feel confident showing this to your client and it will still reflect your brand identity. So I will include the link in my instruction document as well. But right away, what we have here is we have a login panel that's responsive. I'm going to go ahead and show you the media gallery here. I'm going to go to Folio and Preview. Just give it a sec. It's the only thing I could kind of come up with, and I'd rather deliver you something, even if it required a little bit more work on my part. That was definitely outside of the scope of our work. The plugin itself had its limitations, and it definitely was creating problems for me in terms of like its JavaScript, how I would integrate it into an existing HTML document, where I would place it. So again, my step was to sort of get you something that would get you up and running, and you can customize it within the folio as you see fit. But I was able to get the plugin working, and I'll show you precisely what I did as soon as it renders out here. And if you're at all confused, of course, I'm going to be here to help you along the way. This was pretty much the best solution I could come up with that would get you a content management system for your clients. I could also probably help migrate the content management system to your server later on if you're so inclined, but this will at least get you to your meeting and keep you in good standing with your clients. Sometimes it's easy to lose track of scope, and then before you know it, we might not maybe reach our goal. So what I did was I created a simple media gallery image, okay, that was done in the same tradition as the rest of your stuff. And in this particular case, what we do is we click on it, and here we go. Here's the actual plugin that I've embedded, but you're going to notice some extra stuff. First of all, it's in a responsive, very nicely configured kind of appearance. You can even search. There's actually a dynamic menu component here that launches out. Where is all of this? Well, this is kind of part of the challenge that I encountered today, and I tried my hardest to provide a workaround with you. Cinco Spa, or whatever this is called, I haven't really worked with it. I found it very challenging and sticky to kind of incorporate even in just a basic HTML document. So what I decided to do was create the actual gallery itself, so based on the custom skin that you wanted, which you wanted this like Pinterest kind of skin. So I went ahead, I uploaded some media and created an account for you, all entirely in your name, and we basically uploaded the images. Whoops, go back to my galleries. Okay, so we go to Edit Gallery, I guess. Yeah, again, it's very limited, so I'm not too familiar with it. But suffice it to say, the actual gallery itself, you'll be able to allow your clients to essentially log into this gallery and manipulate all the images here as you normally would. And then what I decided to do was I created you at this extension on our server an actual full-blown content management system. It's way above and beyond what we talked about, but it was kind of a choice between giving you a really shitty HTML document and something like this. So now your client and you have the best of both worlds, and I can at least kind of go away to my Friday evening with my wife and have a couple glasses of wine, not worrying, whether or not you'll be happy or not. So the password is admin, the username is admin, the password is root. Just click on that to log in. Okay. and go to our dashboard. So what I've done is I have basically just created a very, very simple kind of template driven WordPress solution that I had created before for a previous client. I just uploaded it to the directory. What you want to do here is go to your pages. I have created a parent page here, and I've taken the plugin embed code and I've embedded it here. Now when we actually go here to the page, when we take a look at it, I'll open this up in another, there we go. Okay, so what you're going to see is you're going to actually see the plugin here working, and I've kept it responsive, so this way we know for a fact that it's going to work really nice on your iPad. It's going to look very nice, crisp, and clean. And the images, I just uploaded samples. You can obviously, within your galleries, upload and change and edit all of the images that we basically included there. It's a little bit of a tricky plugin, but it does seem to sort of work. But I basically created a separate WordPress theme. I've installed it on my server at this root directory, and you're welcome to have access to those files. I'll gladly extend them to you. Again, you're not being billed any more than the 4 hours, so it's the same price we discussed, but I just wanted to make sure you had something that you could walk away with. I'm going to send in an addendum or attachment document, all of the usernames, passwords, and relevant links, but at the end of the day, you're still able to walk away and have the proper folio solution that I think is going to get you to where you want to go. And you can click on all these images and everything like that, and it's still within the folio. And because it's responsive, you still have access here. So you could actually go over here and go inside of, where are we? Here we go. So if you wanted to, you could go over here to menus, and then over here, you would basically be able to create a new menu item. So in this particular case, we could go over here, and I don't know if there is a blog feature in here, so you could kind of take that and you could like literally just go add to menu. Okay, so that's going to populate right there. Go save menu. Okay, and then you go to Work Happier, visit the actual site. When you shrink it down to its respective size and click here, you'll see that the menu item has been populated there automatically. It's very easy for you to customize. You'll be able to go right back over here, and when you refresh the document in this menu, navigating within your folio, it's still pretty cool. It kind of really adds a lot of range, and I think you're going to find that this is really going to help at least present the product. This way I got you up and running with something with the plugin that you wanted. I don't know what SyncoSpa or whatever the hell this thing is called, it just was not working in a great way. Like I found that when I was actually reading the documentation on all of the API information, unless we wanted to go ahead and create our own separate app to integrate with this, the best thing I could do is basically get WordPress installed, and then with the actual solution of having the folio overlay installed, I was able to basically create a web content view plane here, which would essentially launch the WordPress application with inside of the folio. And this way you still get all of the extended range and function that you wanted, but you end up with a slightly more dynamic and, in my opinion, more visually appealing presentation. So over here you can see that it's already added the additional menu item. These are very easy to remove and edit on your own, but this gets you up and running. So if you want to change these images, which will load like this, just remember you're going to want to go over here to the galleries and basically edit the images from within inside this this plugin, which again in the future we might maybe want to try a different solution, but at least I got you there. If you don't mind, please go ahead and shoot me that PayPal transfer, because I definitely can use some drinking money for this weekend. That would be awesome, and I really hope that this is to your liking. Have a good day, John.